Hi guys, Rideshare PA here. As always, welcome to the channel. If you are very new or new in general, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, hit that like. I want you as helpful that you know that might help them. Okay, if you really like my content, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you know when I come out with new content. Okay, as always guys, it's been a while since I came out with a live video, and the reason for that is my phone for some reason is not letting me do live streams. I have no idea why. Every time I go to connect, it just ends it, and it will not let me do a live stream. I've been trying to figure that out over the past couple days. Unfortunately, it is still not letting me do it. So right now I'm on my tablet, so if for some reason it's a little bit choppy or screwy or wonky or whatever the hell you want to call it, that is why. But yeah, so today's video I'm just talking about my life in general. If that is something that you want to be a part of, feel free to listen. And for some reason also my tablet has decided to not work with the live chat, so I'm going to have to go in, give me 1 second guys, and I'm gonna have to check the live chat on my phone while I am watching, if it'll let me do it. I'm not sure if it will because I've never done this before. I think it will. I just need to turn the video down so I don't get any, or the volume down, so I do not get any feedback. Okay. So yeah, that's set up. Alright, we're good to go guys. So if anybody wants to talk or leave comments or ask me questions, I will be able to see those. But anyway, guys, talk a little bit about my life in general, or at least the past few years of it. Recently, I've gotten to the point where I've kind of learned a couple life lessons, and I kind of just wanted to share them with everybody. They're pretty much obvious, but at the same time, it's hard to do that in life. The biggest lesson I've learned so far, I would say, over the past couple weeks has been to pretty much not let other people dictate how you feel. I've put a lot of effort over the past 2 years trying to make, actually over the past couple years, trying to make certain people in my life happy. And so I would recommend to anybody, you have to be able in life, you can't make anybody happy in your life until you are happy. You can't love anybody in your life until you love yourself. You can't expect anybody to love you until you love yourself, or be happy with you until you're happy with yourself. And for a long time, I focused on what other people in my life wanted or needed. Some people may call that selfish. Some people may call that needy, or for the best word is selfish. But at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to please anybody in this life or make anybody happy or care for anybody until you figure out what makes you happy. So, I mean, over the past 2 years, I've kind of learned that. It's been a slow, grueling process. For anybody that doesn't know me personally, June of 2018, I had a very long relationship that ended. Unfortunately, it was, I would say, 60 to 70% problems that I had in my relationship, and 30 to 40% the other person's problems. But in the end, it was nothing that I wouldn't say we didn't try to save. Like I said, I have 4 kids. People in here know that. I have 4 kids with this person. I still have respect for this person. We tried for a very long time to save something that I think we both knew in the end, even though we were trying, for some reason or another, we could not save. So it's not that we didn't try. But with that being said, we separated, tried to make it work that way, and unfortunately, that led to a divorce. And even after our divorce, we've had some parts where we thought we could reconcile, and we even tried for a couple months, and it just didn't work. But with that being said, at that point too, I also, in my mind, was always trying to please that person, make that person happy, and it never worked, because to be honest, I really wasn't happy with myself. And I was always trying to make other people, whether it be my parents or my significant others that I was with growing up, happy. And in return, I never really figured out what made me happy. So, yeah, my biggest regret is not knowing that going in. But I've really learned over the past couple weeks even, that you need to just be able to accept yourself for who you are. And if other people in your life can't accept that, then they don't really need to be in your life. Some people will find it very hard to be able, I would say, to move on or move past the past. I've had a lot of problems with that lately, and it sucks. It sucks to look at somebody that you had a life with, or that you had a relationship with at some point, happy with somebody else, and wonder in your head sometimes, well, why couldn't they be happy with me? But you can't do that. Like, I'm happy today. I've been happy for the past couple weeks. I found somebody that I am working to build a relationship with. I found somebody that makes me very happy, that understands me, that I can talk to sometimes with, I can open up with, that may not fully get me, but at least is willing to listen and understand me, that gets where I'm coming from. And that's all anybody really asks for in life. It's very refreshing to find somebody in life that gets that, because that's all I wanted. So we'll see where that goes. But in Uber and Lyft, I will say this: there is definite times where you have customers that irritate the crap out of you, sometimes drive you nuts, but we all go through shit on a daily basis in life, and I would just urge people to remember that. There's been days where I haven't even wanted to get out of bed because of things that are going on in my life, whether it be stress related or um, just days where I felt like complete crap because of things going on in my life. I know we can all say, "What's up, Trevor? Samantha, how's it going?" Um, there's been stuff going on, and everybody knows this. Not every day be perfect. Not every day is going to be rainbows and sunshine, but you need to be able to kind of trudge through the crap in your life sometimes to be able to make the good days be that much better. Because I promise you, no matter what you're going through in life, it will get better. The summer of 2019 for me was a very, very rough point in my life. Yes, Trevor, thank you very much. We are almost there. The one way to do that, one way to get to 5K, if anybody wants to share any of my videos on Facebook or anything, please feel free. I'm actually looking really forward to that. I want to do a live stream at the end of the month and give away some merch. But yeah, the one way I think to, I guess, what was I saying before I asked? Yeah, 2019 or 2018, that summer was a very, very rough summer for me. Went through a lot of personal struggle. I went through a lot of personal mistakes. Basically, when you're with somebody for a very, very long time, whether it be a very long relationship or a marriage or whatever it is, you kind of start to define yourself by that other person. And when you separate or you break up or get a divorce or move out or whatever, you kind of find yourself a little bit at a loss, because for the longest time you defined yourself by that relationship. And when you split up, you kind of have this void in your heart and in your mind, because for the longest time you always looked at that other person for either to talk to or guidance or whatever. And when you don't have that, it sometimes makes it hard. So that summer, for me was very, very hard, because I moved out. I was by myself again, and I wasn't sure exactly what to do with that. So obviously I made some stupid mistakes over that summer that I probably shouldn't have. And I learned, I grew from it, and I moved on. And over that next year, I would say, I mean, I'm still making mistakes, I'm still learning and growing, but ever since my incident where those guys pulled those guns on me, it kind of put some clarity into my head that life is way too short and I need to focus more on what is important. Um, I would say, and I've said before, that that incident, even though it was terrible, it could have ended, it could have went a completely different way. And some people hate me for saying this, but it was kind of a blessing in disguise, because not only did it make me, or put a little bit of clarity into my head about how short life could have been, but it also put my life in a little bit of a different direction and started this whole YouTube channel, basically. If anybody doesn't know the story, again, basically I put it online to see if those people could be found. Hassan Is Driving found the video and asked me if he could use it. I gave him permission, and from there it kind of spread like wildfire. With that being said, it basically went crazy viral and got me enough subscribers to make my channel and make me be able to monetize my channel, so that way, like every other YouTuber, I get paid for views. So it's another source of income now, and I thank everybody for that. Anybody that watches my videos, that comments, likes my videos, I just want to say thank you, because it makes me know that you guys at least care about some of the content I create, some of the things I talk about. But with that being said, this whole video basically is about just being happy with yourself. It's taken me a long time to kind of get there, and there's still some days where I'm not happy with the way my life has turned out, or some of the decisions that I've had to make. But in the end, you cannot control your life fully. You cannot control every single thing that happens in your life. I had a very good friend that told me a long time ago, it's not what happens in your life that defines you, but it's how you react to them things that happen to you. Or it's how you get back up from them. It's not exactly, how's that saying go? It's not what happens that defines you. It's how you get back up. Something along them lines. Yeah, something along the lines like that. So, with that being said, guys, I just want everybody to remember that everybody goes through stuff in life. Everybody has bad times. I'm sure that every single person that watches this video, or in general, has had one bad point in their life, whether it be the death of a loved one, a breakup, just anything in general that has put you down and knocked you down. And I will firmly say it's not what knocks you down that makes you stronger. It's how you get back up that defines you. Me personally, I have had some very, very rough parts in my life where, I'll be honest, I was very depressed. I was looking for somebody in my life to kind of help me through it. And I was looking in the wrong places at the time. I will firmly say I do believe in God. I do believe in Jesus. I was at a very low place 2 years ago, and often when I'm in those low places, like most people, I often turn away from that because, like, a lot of people use that saying, well, if God loves me so much, then why is he letting this happen to me? And you can't say that, because that's not exactly how it works. It's not that he's letting it happen to you, but you need to be able to take a step back and look and realize that with every bad thing in life comes a lesson that you may need to learn, or you almost have to put yourself in a different perspective, which is really hard to do when you're going through that type of life-changing experience. Trust me, it's really hard when you have 4 kids looking at you for answers and you don't have them. You're going through a divorce and they're asking you questions and you don't know the answers. There was countless times in my personal life that summer that I literally just wanted to break down, and some might say I did at some point, but you can't let that get to you. The funny thing is, out of that, after that summer, I kind of realized that I needed to do something a little bit different, because at that time I wasn't really doing much with my time off. I was spending time with my kids, but then on my time off, I really wasn't doing anything. I was honestly pretty lazy and just going to work, spending time with my kids, and going to work. And when I didn't have them, I was literally just, I don't want to say in a vegetative state, but my brain wasn't firing on all cylinders at the time, because I was probably the most depressed I've ever been in my entire life. It really hit me hard. I've probably never told anybody that, but it hit me really hard. It was probably one of the worst things I've ever had to go through. And I still deal with it every day when I drop my kids off or whatever, that, you know, the life that I created at one point, or that I wanted, didn't work out the way I wanted. And I will always have love and respect for that person, because they're the parent and the mother of my children. But at the same time, to make yourself better and to grow, you need to realize that, okay, that's not happening anymore, and you need to move on. No matter how much we both wanted it to work, it didn't, and that's that. So sometimes it's very hard to look forward when you're always looking back, and I realized that a couple months ago, that, you know what, that was the past, and I needed to move on. I needed to be able to look forward to be happy, to make myself happy. There's things in my life now that I'd like to do. Uber, Lyft, YouTube, all of those things I use as forms of income, but they are also fun for me. This right here, me talking, even though there's probably nobody listening right now, this is fun for me. So whoever the one person is in the chat right now, thank you for listening. I appreciate it. I know at some point Trevor and I think Samantha were in the chat, so thank you. But it's really hard some days when you get up and you feel like you don't have anybody there beside you. Just know that if you don't, you do. God is always there listening. All you have to do is answer. All you have to do is pray. Whether you believe in God or not, that's up to you. But even if you close your eyes and just meditate and talk to yourself a little bit, or just in general, close your eyes and just, like I said, meditate. You'd be surprised at how much just sitting still, closing your eyes, and maybe if you fall asleep then whatever, but just meditating a little bit will help you relax. Life is very stressful, whether it's work, kids, just everything in general. It can be so stressful. There's a lot of things I used to do when I was younger that I haven't done for a very long time that I want to get back into. Some of those things, I would say the majority, I like to camp. I like to go camping a lot. I used to do that a lot with a friend of mine when I was younger, and I haven't done it in a very long time. I want to get back into hiking, even though I'm not physically fit for it anymore. Me as a parent, I would say I let myself go. I use life as an example sometimes. You know what I mean? I got married when I was 25. Actually, wait, let me think about this again. 2010, 2019, 26. I got married when I was 26. I had my first kid at 25. Got married at 26. Had 3 kids after that. But life has a funny way of creeping up on you to the point where, hi guys, I see 3 people in the chat now, so just want to say hi. This video, I'm not really talking about anything Uber or Lyft related, just talking about life in general. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment and ask, but I'm just pretty much talking about life in general. But yeah, life has a very, very funny way of creeping up on you. Like I said, when I was 25, I had my first son, got married, had 3 kids after that, and before you know it, I'm 35, divorced, and it's crazy how you look at life and it goes by so damn fast. Will be the first to say I'm overweight. I need to lose weight. But in my head, I'm happy with how my life is right now. For a long time I wasn't. Some days I wake up and I still am not. But that's okay. Because overall, we all sometimes look back at our life and wish we could change things. Wish that we could go back and change how we reacted to something or another. Wish that we could change the other person in our relationship or make it better. But at the end of the day, you can't. And I think for myself, over the past couple weeks and months, I've kind of learned that lesson that, you know what, no matter how hard I tried to change for somebody or to make that other person happy, you just can't. So how's everybody doing today? Let's get back on a happier note. So happier. I think last time I checked, I'm like 150 subscribers away from 5,000. So that's awesome. I want to give at least one t-shirt away to somebody. So if I hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of November, which it looks like I'm probably going to be on track to do, I will give away a t-shirt in a live stream, or maybe even a hoodie, depending on how I feel. I don't know, it depends. The t-shirts in my merch store I think are around 20 bucks. Hoodies are around 45, so maybe if I feel generous, I might, instead of giving one t-shirt away, maybe I'll give two. So that way, instead of giving a hoodie out, I can give two people a present. That would be kind of cool. Maybe I'll do that instead, since I didn't give anything away at 2,500 subs, because I didn't have it available at the time. But we'll see. So yeah, I just want to say thank you to every single person that subscribed to the channel so far. It's really an honor, I think, sometimes when I look at how many people have viewed some of my videos. Every day when I go on and I read comments, even though some of them aren't flattering as far as what people say to some of the videos, either about me or about the people in the videos, I would highly recommend, guys, that you keep your comments PG. I understand people have views and opinions on people in general, but you gotta remember sometimes, guys, that this is YouTube. Sometimes kids get on here and go through stuff and read it, and just think about it. If you had kids, would you want them reading those comments? So, but with that being said, I still want to thank everybody for your opinions. I gotta turn my heat on because it is freaking cold in my car now. I really wish people would talk, because since 4 o'clock, no one has said one word, and I have no idea who's in the chat room. So, but yeah, Uber and Lyft, in my mind, for me, has kind of been a healthy way for me to get back to doing something I love, finding something to take up my time when I don't have anything to do. Like I said before, so for anybody that doesn't know, I work third shift, Sunday night through Friday morning. Okay, I have my weekends off. Like I said before, I am divorced, so I have my kids every other weekend. So the weekends that I didn't have my kids, sometimes I didn't really have things to do. Okay, as most married people will tell you, sometimes when you have life happen, when you have kids, you lose friends in the process. And whether that's because you just don't get along with them friends, or just life in general. Life gets busy, life gets crazy, life gets hectic, and in that process you often lose people, or you just grow apart from people. and you find yourself at a point where, looking back, you kind of miss those friends. I had a lot of friends growing up in high school that I chose to basically stop talking to because of drugs or other reasons. And so I didn't have a lot of friends after high school. And sometimes it's hard because I don't really have a lot of friends. I'll be the first to say that I do not have a lot of close friends. You don't need a lot of friends, but I don't really have any close friends that I would say, confide in on a daily basis, other than family. So that's when I turn to prayer. I don't do it as often as I should. I really don't. But it's definitely hard sometimes to be able to talk about things and open up with people in general, because like I said, when you're in a relationship for so long with somebody, they sometimes become your confidant. I mean, you're supposed to be able to talk to that person about anything, and when you lose that, especially if you don't have friends, or somebody that you can confide in about the stuff you're going through, it's really hard. Almighty. Yes, I do agree with you there. But again, Almighty, that's another thing that some people don't have, for one reason or another. So in my situation, my mom and dad split when I was 5. My dad's always been there, and he'll always be on my side. But at the same time, I mean, I can talk to him about anything. He's always going to be on my side. Sometimes it's nice to have, and it all depends on your family too, because my dad's always going to be on my side, and sometimes he tells me how it is, but sometimes he doesn't. And it's nice to have that friend that will be blunt with you and be honest. And if you're being an idiot, or if you're being a douche, that they can be straightforward with you about it. Like, so it's nice to have people in your life. Yes, friends are there, friends come and go, but at the same time, we've all had those friends that we either grew up with or that have been there with us for a very long time, that that understand certain things about our life, and that will give us honest answers. So it's just hard, okay? Almighty, like you said, family is always going to be there. Family is always more than enough. But in my instance, okay, and I'm just using this as an example, you say family is more than enough. Family is more than enough. But what happens when you, and I'm using this as an example since you're in the room, what happens when your family is the one that breaks up and you find yourself on the outs, or you find yourself separated or divorced, and your family, the one that you confided in that you say is enough, is now split in two? Okay? Then what? Okay? And that's where I found myself, okay? I, for a long time, was in a relationship that for, I would say, the better part of 3 years, we both, I guess, probably knew that it wasn't going to work, but we tried. And the worst part about that was when it ended okay, but it got worse before it got better. And even sometimes to this day, when I think it's good, it gets bad again. So it's just hard to sit here and say that. Yes, it is very hard in this world to find good people that will be here with you in a long time, for the long haul, okay? It's very hard to find somebody that understands the way you think. It's very hard to find somebody that, in my case, will open up and be honest with you about everything. So, with that being said, that's why I rely on, I mean, when I was growing up, okay, my mom wasn't around. Okay, I'll say that right now. My mom was not around for me at all. So I've always had those issues of, I wouldn't say a motherly issue, but I've always had trust issues when it comes to women. Whether that's not being honest with me or not opening up or just in general overall, I've always had some kind of issue with that, because when your mother leaves you at such a young age, and over the course of your life sometimes doesn't always be there for you, or when they say they're going to be there and they don't show up, it affects you. And the stuff I'm going through right now with my kids put a little bit of perspective of what my mom went through, okay? So the funny thing is, and it sucks to say this, but when I went through this in my life, it kind of put some clarity into my eyes of what my mom might have been going through when she went through it, okay? Now granted, my mom and dad split. I'm not going to go into the details as of why, but in my mind, it was my mom's fault, okay? My mom did some things that I wouldn't agree with, that was 100% her fault, and she has to live with that, okay? But me going through my divorce, and again, my divorce, nobody cheated on anybody. There was no financial issues or anything like that, and nobody was using drugs. Neither of us were abusive towards each other or anything like that. It was honestly simply the simple fact that we grew apart. Like in a lot of relationships, a marriage with 4 kids, I worked third shift, she worked first, and we grew apart. We were never there for each other. We never took the time to really build that relationship. And when I look back in that and I say that, it's kind of sad in my mind. Like, it kind of just makes me start crying a little bit. But one thing I would say is to anybody watching this that is in that situation, to do yourself a favor and cherish that person that you're with. One thing I've learned, and one thing I will definitely say moving forward in my life, take the time to invest in that person that I'm with. Well, that's true. Exactly. Yes, I get that, Almighty. Which is why I'm talking about this, okay? Basically, the reason why I kind of wanted to just open up and talk was because, one, it's kind of therapeutic. Two, I said over probably the better course of a month or so, I've just learned a lot about myself, a lot about how I wouldn't say how I act, but how I always sometimes put myself first in certain situations, but at the same time, how I always tried to make other people happy, and in the process, I was never really happy. So that just turned into this whole, right now, 50-minute conversation of my life. Not that anybody cares, but I mean, if you're sitting here listening, I don't know who's been in here since the beginning, but if you're sitting here listening, I just want to say thank you, because I appreciate it. It's just really hard. Life in general, some people have it really easy, and I wouldn't say I'm envious of those people, because if you have it really easy, then I'm not sure you really can understand the good parts of life, because you've never had a really hard part of life to go through. I mean, life in general is supposed to, I at least, you're supposed to have hard challenges. You're supposed to have struggles. Um, Life is not given to you. Things in life are not given to you. You have to work for them. Um, exactly, Matthew. The lows make the highs better. Um, some people don't believe that, though. Um, I have lived a very rough life. Not rougher than others, not better than others, but I grew up with one parent, like a lot of people. Um, my dad worked 2, sometimes 3 jobs to put food on the table and pay the bills, and sometimes even that wasn't enough. Um, when I was like 6 or 7, my dad had to declare bankruptcy. He ended up losing his house because of not being able to financially afford it, because going from 2 incomes to 1 income, he just couldn't do it. I grew up without a father figure in my life, not the most money. There's no need to focus on the past. No, there is no need to focus on the past. I get that. But at the same time, every now and again, you have to kind of look back and reflect on it and see how far you've come. Love my father for what he did for me. I firmly believe that because of him is why I have such a strong work ethic. Um, some people would say I work too much, and that is sometimes true. I don't always put other things before that. That's something he instilled in me. But with that being said, I wouldn't know where I'd be today without my dad. He made me the person I am. Um, He is a very, very, very good man. He taught me everything I know, and sometimes I take that for granted. I will say that sometimes I do take that for granted. I think sometimes in life we often, just as human beings in general, take people for granted. Um, and I will sit here and honestly say that I think we're all at fault of that. Whether it's a spouse, a mom, a dad, a brother, whatever, we often, as human beings in general, take people in life for granted. And it's really sad to say that. Um, Everyone, I believe, at some point in their life is at fault for that. So, yeah, I just had some clarity right now because. Anyway, guys, I'm sorry this video is not about Uber or YouTube. um, it was meant to be at the beginning, but before I knew it, I got started talking about life. But hopefully, if anybody watches this or is watching it or watches it later, hopefully they can somehow relate to something I'm talking about, and if it helps somebody in the future, then I hope it does, because I don't want to say abandonment issues, but I feel that people in my life either gave up on me or didn't believe in me, and best thing to do is focus on the future and on the positive. Exactly. And that's what I'm trying to do right now in my life. You're always going to have those people, and the problem with that, the only problem I have with that is that I have people that were in my past that for some reason or another I can't just simply cut out of my life. And it seems like every single time when I start to do really, really good, I don't know if they see that and they just bring it down, but it's hard to not sometimes let those people affect you. So with that being said, that's where I'm at in my life right now, is trying to move on, stay positive, always be positive, try to make my future as better as best as I can, but at the same time not let those people affect my future and my positive well-being as much as I can. So that's why I say sometimes it's hard to do that. I mean, it just is. But almighty, I firmly 100% agree with you. Life is always going to be hard. You're always going to have challenges. You're always going to have ups and downs. People in general, you're always going to have, for lack of a better word, haters, or somebody that for some reason or another wants to be negative. And I've always told myself not to ever let a negative person, not necessarily into my life, but not let them affect my life. And sometimes that's harder said than done. So, but I always try. And for the most part, it's been easy. But like I said, when you've been with somebody for so long, sometimes the things they do or say they know how to dig into your skin, let's put it that way. And sometimes I feel that they know how to stick that knife in there, and then they say something to you that they know how to put the knife in there, and then they know how to say something to you that honestly just twists it just a little and gets under your skin. So it's definitely easier said than done. I definitely feel that I'm going to start doing videos sometimes about Uber and Lyft, but at the same time, um, I want to kind of start doing videos like this too every now and again, just talking about life in general, because that's what I think my channel's. Uber and Lyft is great and all, but at the same time, I think people sometimes need a place to come and vent, and I think I could do good with that on here if people wanted to come and just ask questions or my views on life or whatever. I firmly think that would be awesome to do. So with that being said, guys, it's almost been an hour. I don't want to go any longer than that. So um Almighty, thank you for your feedback. Matt, Sam, anybody that's been in the channel, Trevor, I appreciate it. Rideshare PA out, man. Take care, guys. Have a great week.